Hello and welcome to the Capricorn New Moon video. Now this is a collective message for everyone because when we have new moons, full moons and planetary alignments, they affect us all. So it's not just that specific zodiac, and also you'll have these placements somewhere within your chart, and that's why they are collective messages. So the Capricorn New Moon, what does it bring us? Well, the Capricorn New Moon will be happening on the 12th, 13th of January 2021. And if we look back into 2020, on the 12th of January, Saturn and Pluto aligned in Capricorn. And that kick-started basically everything that we really experienced. I mean, of a lot of endings in 2020. Because Saturn basically rules structure. That's what Saturn is, structure, restriction. It's a very dominant planet in that essence of structure and how things need to be. So structure. And then it was aligning with Pluto. Pluto represents transformation, death and transformation in Capricorn. Capricorn rules the house of career, work, the world. Everything that we put out into the world. So structure in the world, everything that we put out in career and work and our stability with transformation happening. Now that energy was pretty intense. Now I'll link the video basically that I did in 2020 about that, the Saturn-Pluto alignment. And now we have a new moon in 2021 on the 12th, 13th of January, basically making us want to look back. Look back at how far we've come. If you are feeling on this day, or even prior to the day of the new moon, even a little bit after, a little tired, worn out. I mean, it's an earth energy. Earth is physical, the physical body, the structure of the body. So you can feel very, very tired, exhausted, because basically, in 2020, you went through a lot of changes, and a lot of it had to do with Saturn, and it kick-started in Capricorn, and now we have a Capricorn New Moon. So now you're at this point of looking back on how far you've come, everything you've been through, what you've experienced, how this journey of life has been, and now you're here to contemplate on the next steps that you want to take, action that you want to move forward with, because Capricorn is a cardinal sign, which means it's about action. It's about moving forward. It's forward movement. It wants to go. So what do you want to put into, action right now? What do you want to get off and have it be out there? That's Capricorn. It's very much action orientated, but physical work. And it can be exhausting. So honor yourself, honor the experiences that you've had, honor the journey, because you're going to need to reflect on how far you've come. How did you manage your challenges? How are you feeling? It's a lot to go within, and it would even feel like shadow work, where you have to ask yourself, what are my fears? What made me afraid? What triggered me? What hit hard? Go deep. It's only when we go deep and we face what we fear and we look at it, and by facing it, it's just exploring it, exploring your feelings around your own fears, and going deep within that, can you now then set the intention to move forward. You can't move forward with everything within your subconscious and in your emotional self holding you back from forward movement. So you got to go there. You got to go there to basically release, and so you can set these new intentions. Also, we have Mars in Taurus squaring Saturn. Mars in Taurus squaring Saturn, and we have Uranus in Taurus squaring Jupiter. So, Mars in Taurus. Mars in Taurus is about taking action. Taurus is again about our value, money, resources, who we value, and also our financial value. So taking action, but in a square to Saturn. So this can create a lot, and Saturn's in Aquarius, and Saturn Aquarius a lot about thinking outside of the box. So we can feel frustrated here. We can feel a lot of tension, a lot of frustration. There might be ideas that you have, but you might have to rethink how you want to implement it. And that's the important thing about it, rethinking how you want to implement what you want to implement. Then Uranus and Taurus with the square to Jupiter in Aquarius. These are fixed signs. That's why they're in a square as well. They have that energy. So with that being said, yeah, we can feel sudden changes, unexpected things happening. Especially with Uranus. Uranus is that planet of unexpected, what we don't expect. It can bring a lot of chaos as well. And it's in Taurus, so what we value, what we support, all of that kind of energy. In Jupiter, which expands, it makes it bigger. So these are intense energies, and that's the aspects that are hitting us during this new moon. And then on the 14th, we also have Uranus going out of retrograde, and it's been in retrograde since August 2020. So a lot of unexpected news or unexpected things might just pop up, people, situations, and we have to kind of use that Aquarius energy to think on our feet. It's so important that we do that and not get caught up, because we can get very caught up during these times, especially when energy is in Aquarius. Aquarius is a fixed sign and it's fixed air. So it's important to know that when it's Aquarius, and it's also the water bearer, so it's very deeply in touch with your feelings, but we can get fixated because it's fixed air. In air is our thoughts, our communication, our expression, but mainly our thoughts. And a lot of times Aquarius can overthink things, go over things a lot continuously, and then you get stuck more on the problem. That's the weakness of Aquarius. But the opportunity in Aquarius is to think out of the box and be original. But the only way you can do that is if you stop overthinking. There's a lot to Aquarius. Like Aquarius is the humanitarian sign. But in order for us to want to take up energy of being a humanitarian or do something that inspires us to help others, it's first where we actually see others in pain, others hurt, that inspires us to do that. Aquarius is the energy of freedom. But before we want freedom, we got to feel restricted or held back in some way for us to want to push forward. So remember, when all these signs have these energies, it's the opposite that we also feel. Life is duality. That's the way it is. There's both aspects that we always have to kind of balance out, and we got to feel the other to want the other one and balance between the two. And what Capricorn is really doing with all of this energy that's coming about is really being an earth sign, wanting us to create change for our stability, because that's earth. It's about wanting stability, emotional stability, physical stability, financial stability, wanting things to stabilize. And that's the biggest thing that we would want with this new moon, is actually feeling, I just want things to stabilize right now. I want things to, I just want that sense of stability because it's comfortable. Stability is comfortable. And all these other energies that are around it, especially with Mars and Taurus with that square to Saturn, and Uranus and Taurus with that square to Jupiter, is bringing a lot of change and instability. And Uranus brings change. Uranus is in Taurus. Change to what? Change to our values, what we support, our sense of stability, because it's also in fixed energy, and our resources. So there's a lot of change that's coming about, but know that this new moon does hold a sense of stability and groundedness. And it's important for you to ground yourself during these times of change. And in order to set those intentions, it's important to do the work within yourself of your fears and what it is and working with it. And also, using your mind and your heart to pull yourself forward. And remember, don't get fixated. Don't get stuck, fixed to something that you don't want to be fixed in, whether that's a thought, an emotion. It's okay to feel it, but feel it and let it flow. It's okay to feel sad, but let it flow through you. Don't let it become something that can sometimes feel like it's making you claustrophobic and suffocating you to that extent. And it's very important for that. And if you're going through something like that, seek help. Seek help, seek support. There are plenty of places that can support and help, and counseling, all of those kinds of things, life alignment, energy work, all of those kinds of things that can help you in your journey. That's the thing. I think as people, we sometimes are afraid to ask for help, to just share, to open up, you know, but it's okay to do that. And the more we do that, the more we're going to actually find that Aquarius energy of sharing and community, and to see that we all are similar with fears, with things that hold us back, that cause us great pain, that hurt us. Yes, there are others that are complete, you know, and lack compassion. But there are also people who do have understanding and compassion as well. Thank you so much for watching.